Hello friends, and welcome to another video about how to teach English. Now today's lesson is going to be very different from my previous videos because in my previous videos I mostly talked about how to teach children. Now today I'm going to talk about how to teach adults or young adults. Also, my focus today is on how to teach adults in private schools, whereas previously I've talked about how to teach children in public schools. Now, the contexts are different. Now, of course, in private schools, usually they use textbooks like this one that we have today called American English File. A lot of new teachers do not know exactly how to teach using a textbook, and so this video is, of course, for them. Now, the problem that they face is usually, how do I use this? And they go back to the teacher's book, and the teacher's book is very helpful, but the problem with the teacher's book is that if you follow it letter by letter, it might not work. It might not work because it is too broad. It's not specific to one particular situation or one particular context or one particular country. And we know, of course, that teaching English as a second language in some countries is not the same as teaching English as a foreign language. And the textbooks and the teacher's books that have the detailed step-by-step way to teach a lesson do not take that into consideration. So what you have to do, of course, is to find your own way first and to adapt to the level and to the context of your classroom and your students. So what we want to do today is to show you ways in which you can conduct a first part of a lesson for beginners, for adults or young adults, using this particular lesson, lesson 1 in American English File textbook. Now, some of the principles and tips and some of the ways in which you present this lesson and some of the ways in which you support your learners, all of this can be used also for teaching children, but in a different way. You can adapt it to that. So some of the things that we are going to talk about today can be in fact adapted to other levels, more advanced. So it doesn't really change, that is the method or the way to use this, or can be adapted also to using it with children at public schools. So pay attention to the method and not so much to the content. So let's start with this. And usually what we have teachers, what they do is that when they enter into the classroom, they tell their learners to open their books and then directly go and say, look at the pictures, listen and number them from 1 to 4. And they tell them to do that without presenting what's going on in the pictures. Now you have to do that with the Algerian context, because remember, we are in an EFL classroom. First, these adults come with certain knowledge of English from school, but they need a lot of support, especially in their first lesson. So what you do is not follow what is said here. Don't do that, because usually it doesn't work. Or you put directly the audio. Don't do that. You need to do some things before that. So first thing you have to do is, for example, tell them to open their books. And then, of course, to put this, as I am doing now, if you have a screen, put it on the screen in the PDF form so that everybody can follow with you. And then you tell them the following. You tell them, for example, how many pictures do we have? And some of them might know the numbers, others might not. If some of them or all of them might know the numbers, so they are going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. Some of them might say 4, or one of them. And you say, yes, good, 4. So then you tell them, how many letters do we have? And they say A, B, C, D. And of course, you repeat again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So remember that if you are going to teach a bit later on, the numbers, you are already pre-teaching the numbers. If you are a bit later on going to teach the letters A, B, C, D, you are already pre-teaching the letters. Or if you have already taught the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, this is a good occasion to revise that. Or if you have already taught the alphabet, then this is a very occasion, of course, again, to revisit that by saying A, B, C, D. So what is important, of course, is that, again, as with children, do not use Arabic. This is very important. So do not use Arabic. Always show how many pictures do we have, and you just say 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, after you do that, you say, you focus on the first picture, only on the first picture, this one. And then you say, who do we have here? Do we have 2 girls? If they know girl, then they would say, no, we have man and girl. Or they say, no, we have man and girl. And then you say, is this a girl? And they say, no, this is a boy. So where is the girl? This is the girl. Girl, boy. And then you say, where are they? Of course, don't expect them to tell you they are on the street, and because they don't know the language yet. So what you do is say, where are they? Are they inside? And you point to the room and you show your room that we are inside. And you go out of the room and you say, are they outside? So again, you don't use Arabic, but you show inside, and you go outside and you say, or outside. And they say, they are outside. Good. And so you have here, you have taught inside and outside. And then you say where? And then you say, and you show here that they are outside the club. Outside the club here. Good. And here, where are they? Are they inside or outside? And here they will say, no, here they are inside. Where inside? In the house? And you say, yes. And you say, this is the boy, this is the boy, this is the girl, and this is the... Who? Who is this woman? Some of them might say, the mother. And you say, okay, the mother. All right, let's go to the next one. Here, where are they? Inside or outside? And they are going to say, inside. Are they at home? And they can see here that they are not at home. They are inside the club. And here, where are they? They are inside or outside? They are outside. So where outside? Outside the club? No, outside the house. Good. So here you have presented the whole situation. It's very important to do that before you go to what is said here. So what is said here is look at the pictures, but you don't tell them to do that. Look at the pictures. You look with them at the pictures. Later on, when they become better at analyzing the picture, looking at the picture, doing it on their own, like in, let's say that this is week 1. When they come to week 4 or 5, you can do as is said in the textbook or in the teacher's book. But before, it is up to you to support them by working with them on the situation. Okay, now what the purpose of this activity, of course, first is to number, put them in order. You want to explain that. How do you explain to them to put them in the correct order? So you say, here, where is number 1? You work with them. You don't tell them to look for the order, because otherwise you are going to use Arabic. You are going to say, رتب. No, don't do that. you have to find a way to explain to them the activity in English. So you say, where is number 1? And they say, I don't know. They say, I don't know. Some of them might say A. So, okay, you say, okay, perhaps it is A. Perhaps. We don't know. Okay? And you write on the board, you write this word. You write guess. You write guess. Of course, they don't know the word guess. Guess the order. Okay? And you can put even 1 here. You can even put 1, 2, 3, 4 on the board. You can put 1, 2, 3, 4. This is order. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you put 2, 4, 3, 1. This is not order. So you say, I need you to put them in the order. And what you have to do is guess. So you don't directly translate the word guess for them. You don't do that. Again, don't use Arabic. Don't give it to them easily like that. First, try to find a way to explain what is to guess, because you need that for later on. So to guess, what I usually do with my students is I tell them, guess what is the order. Now, they don't know the word guess. You are going to explain to them. They say, guess? What is guess? What is guess? Say, what is guess? I tell them, guess my age. Age. Guess my age. Me. 25? 35? 45? Guess. What is my age? And then they say, guess. خمن. If they say it in Arabic, say yes. But don't say it in Arabic. If they say it, you say خمن. You say yes, that's it. So you accept the use of Arabic from them, but you don't use it. Very important in the first lesson. Very important. Because they want to force you at the beginning to use Arabic, but you should not allow that, and you should always find a way around giving them the definition of a word by giving them an example. Okay. Now, guess. Just say guess. Just guess, you say. Okay? So, you want to then to guess the meaning of the word, of the order that you have here. So you want to guess this. What do? You say, which one is number 1? Guess. And they say, perhaps it's this one, or this one, or this one, or this one. Some of them would say, this one here. And so you put, they are just guessing. You put 1 here, okay? You put 1. Okay? Then you tell them in pairs. Guess the order of the others. Which one is number 2? Which one is number 3? Which one is number 4? Just guess in pairs. Tell them, do not write here. Write here. For example, here. For example, put number 2 here, 3 here, and 4 here. But tell them not to write here, because this is where you are going to write the correct answer. Now, once they finish, now you tell them, I want you to listen and check. Listen and check. So they listen. You put the audio on. They listen. Let's listen.
1.2.
Something very important when you do the listening is that you keep the window here so that you can control the audio, because you need to pause at a certain point. So follow with me how we do that. You go, you play.
1.
Hi, I'm Mike. What's your name?
Hannah.
Sorry?
Hannah.
Then you pause here and you check with them, all of them. Where is number 1? And say, it's C. And so you say C because they can see that there are people here and the guy is trying to scream. So you put here 1. Put here 1 here. Good. Now you move now to the next one. You move to the next one and you do it one by one. You can't do them all together. You have to do it one by one. All right?
1 point.
What's your phone number?
It's 212-555-7894.
Okay. See you on Saturday. Bye.
Goodbye.
Good. Now you tell them where is number 2, and they will say A. So you put number 2 here. Now they know it is number 2 because it is outside. They can hear the music inside. So in other words, you try to provide them with all the ways in which the context or the situation can help them. And you have worked on that before when you said inside, outside, all of that. And so it becomes easier for them to comprehend. Do not at this level focus on the language, only on the comprehension. I repeat that again. Do not focus on the language, only on the comprehension. What's going on? That's what you need. Then you go to number 3.
3.
Hi, Mom. This is Hannah.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Anna.
My name's Hannah.
Sorry, Hannah.
Good. You pause and you say, where is number 3? And they say it's D. Of course, something that you have to remember is that you have set out the situation before, that this is going on outside, and so they know that this is about this one. One other thing is that some of them will get their guess right. So you have to say and celebrate that when they get the right guess, okay? And so it is very important to motivate them and to reward them by saying good job, excellent, if they made a good guess. Then you move to the next one. The last one, of course, obviously, is this one.
Hi, Mom. You're early.
Hello, Mrs. Archer. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Anna. And you?
Fine, thanks.
It's Hannah, Mom.
Very good. Now you write here 4. Now
1.2.
they have understood, of course, what the conversation and the story is about in general, without focusing on particular words. And you have done that by first giving them the context, then working on a guess, which is like a game, then making them work in pairs, very important, and then first listening. Now the second listening, in which you have here, you have the dialogues of the 4 pictures, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they have gaps in which they have to fill in the gaps. Let me show you how to do that now. First thing you have to do is to explain to them what is a blank or a gap. You want to explain this word and you write on the board, we can also say gap. Gap or blank. Complete the blank. And you say blanks, these are blanks. You show them. You show blanks. And you say, we also call them gaps. So you don't say, again in Arabic, you don't say faragat. But if one of them says faragat, you say yes, that's it. But it's not you who has used Arabic. Okay? Some of them already know it. Rely on them. This is how usually I tell new teachers and teachers in general, this is the way, in the indirect way in which you can use Arabic. It is through others figuring out or knowing before the meaning of a word or the equivalent of the word in Arabic. If they say it, don't tell them, hey, don't speak in Arabic. Just say, yes, that's it. Especially if they are beginners. Then you say, these are gaps, blanks. Okay, they understand now what is a blank. To make sure that they understand what is a blank, tell them how many blanks, how many gaps do we have? 1, 2, how many? And then they are going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If they know the numbers. If they don't, count with them. And then you say we have 12 gaps. Now, if you follow the textbook, it says listen and complete. You don't want to do that. Don't do that. What you want to do is to tell them to remember, try to remember. Try to remember, you write on the board. Remember from the first listening. Try to remember in past. If you don't remember, and you do this with the remember so that they know that you are talking about fakka, okay? But don't say it in Arabic again. Say remember. Or if you don't remember, tell them try to guess. And you help them with number 1. You say, for example, number 1, what is it? Hi Mike, what's your? And probably all of them are going to say name. So you write here for them name. You tell them write name. Now, you tell them now, go and try in pairs or in a group, try to remember what to put here. Give them some time, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes to do this. It is very important for them to remember or try to guess. Now, in the guessing part, when they guess, tell them write anything. Write what comes to your mind. That is just guess. Even if you don't know, it's okay to put a word that you don't know. Why? Because it is like a psychological or a cognitive or a brain trick. So that when they are listening, they are looking for this word, whether it is correct or not correct, whether they have remembered or whether they have guessed correctly. So this is what you want to do, and that's when they are going to pay attention. Now, after they have filled in the gaps with what they remembered, and they remember to do this in pairs or in a group so that they help each other with remembering, so that you see the interaction. They would say, is it name or what's your age? And the others say, well, no, it's name because we have a name here. And so this is what you want. And they might use Arabic there, but it's okay for now. For now, first lesson, everything, it's okay. So you name, and you say name, and then you can go around and help, and you say name, and then let's say Hannah, and then here you say, well, what do you put? And you go to each one of them and try to help and to support, of course. Now, when you finish that, when you make sure they finish, they listen. We go now to the second listening. We go to the second listening, so they listen again. One thing that you have to make sure you do when they have the second listening is that you keep the control of the audio in front of you, at hand, so that you pause where you need to pause. There are two ways in which you can pause. The first one, and this is very important, you play the audio and you pause right before the answer. For example, look at this.
1.2. 1.
Hi, I'm Mike.
What's your, you stop there. You don't reveal the answer. You have to keep command of the audio. And then you say, what's your, And they say, name. And you say, okay, let's check.
Hannah.
And it is name, and you say, good, and then you write name. Or you can write it on the board. And you pause here, just in case there are ones that didn't get it. So you give them time to write down name. Because if you go on, there are certain students who are a bit slow in writing or in understanding, and so you have to respect that and pay attention to that. So you give them time to correct, because they might get it wrong. So you give them time to correct themselves. So you pause again and make sure that everyone has the right answer and has written the right answer. Because what you don't want is, if they made a mistake in filling the gap, what you don't want is that they would they are writing down the answer and you play and you get here and they are still here. So you want to give them time to, and you make sure you do that by saying, is everybody okay? Everybody okay? Okay, can we go again? And then even the slow ones are going to write and they say, okay, you can go on now. And then when everybody says, okay, we are good, you play again. So give them time, especially first. So don't rush things, very important. Then you play again.
Sorry?
Let me go back.
Mike, what's your name?
Hannah.
Then you pause. Then we have here, you don't reveal it, you pause here and you say number 2. And some of them will get it right and will say sorry. And so you say, yes, sorry. And then you write it down on the board, or if you can write it down there. And so you say sorry, and then you say let's check.
Sorry?
And you say yeah, sorry. Now sorry, you say why sorry? Why sorry? What is sorry? And some of them will say sorry means repeat. Yes, you say yes. And so you play.
Hannah.
This is number 1. Number 2.
2.
What's your phone?
What's your phone? And then if they know, if they made it good, if they remember, they say number. If they don't, they guess, because there is the answer here, they say number. So you say, let's check.
Oh, no.
Number. And so yeah, it is number. And you write down on the board. And remember to give them time to write down their answers in their textbooks. You don't move on to the next until you make sure that everybody has written and everybody is ready for moving forward. Otherwise, you are going to leave some people behind, and that is going to cause confusion all over the place. So you carry on with all of these, of course, with number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. You carry on one by one like that. Now, when you finish doing that, the next thing, of course, is to read the dialogue in pairs. And before you read the dialogue in pairs, you repeat a third listening. You do a third listening. Then you repeat the dialogue in pairs. Now, you don't ask them directly to repeat the dialogue in pairs. You choose the one that you have detected is the best student. Even if they are beginners, they are not totally, some of them are not totally beginners. We call them false beginners. Some of them might have good language a little bit. So you choose the one that you have detected previously in the previous lesson is not a true beginner, but a false beginner, knows a little bit of English, has pretty much a good pronunciation or something like that, and you say, I am Hannah, I am A, you are B, and you do it in front of them. You read, hi, I am Mike, what's your name? And you have to act it like that, so that they have to see you do it. It's very important. They have to see you do it first with someone else. Now, once you do that, they are watching how you do it. Now, once you do that, you can then ask them to do it in pairs. But never ask them to read the dialogue in pairs if you have not shown them how to do that in pairs. So you do that first. Now, of course, this is then how you present and work with pictures and work with the audio, how you present the language. You can see that here in the first part it is all about comprehension, and then you go to specific things so that you learn certain words that you need. They might not understand certain words, so you can help them with, of course, certain expressions like see you on Saturday. You tell them what that is, you give them an example. So, and you ask them, of course, is there any word that you want me to explain to you? What I'll show you next time, inshallah, in our next video is how to use this to teach the dialogue, to teach grammar, that is I am, you are, etc. Hey, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Salam.